Like, we're about to get into Great Ace Attorney again. We're about to start the second case. But first, I feel like to get a little bit of a warm-up going. I got the Switch version of this game as well. This is the PS4 version. I watched some of these up to here, just so I could get a little bit of a teaser of what the Sherlock Holmes character is like. And I figure, hey, this would be a nice, good warm-up question here. I'm not planning on reading this because this moves at its own pace, but I will react to it, or re-react to it. Or who knows, I actually might react to all of these right here and now. Oh yeah, all this in Japanese, so it's interesting. I think the visuals are just slightly crisper on the PS4 version. But there's not really much compromise you need to do to move to a Switch, I would imagine, because, you know, visual novel. Can lawyers just access empty courtrooms like this?
その人物と今日この大法廷で一足早く会えるらしいのです。日本男児としてやり手なところを見せておきたいじゃないですか。やる気でございますね。なるほど様。でもなんだかちょっと怖いですね。夜の大法廷は。先ほど見物したロンドン島恐怖展もそれは恐ろしい。
This is like spoiling a later part of the first game, I believe, but too bad I don't know.
明日見て回る恐怖展の予定もかっちり組み上げてありますとも。
別に恐怖限定でなくてもいいと思うけど。ところで、
I wonder what is he saying?
さっきから何か聞こえませんか？
そういえばこの大法廷、幽霊が出るという噂がございます。
やめてください。ロンドン島恐怖展の直後でやや敏感になっていますから。何者だ！
なるほど。どうやらすべて見えたようだ。
I like this little silhouette. Like, this is how I imagine a steampunk Sherlock Holmes to look like.
ズバリ殺害されたイタリア人のコック長だ。自分が死んだことにも気がつかず大法廷をさまよっているとはね。死んだなら死んだらしくその辺に転がっているがいい。死人め。
I kind of wish we had an English option for this here, just because I'm kind of curious how the voice actors would do it.
あの世界的な名探偵、シャーロック・ホームズ様。
おや、僕のことをご存知なの
I think you should just say Sherlock.
もちろんでございます。ご活躍いつも拝見しております。シャーロック・ホームズの冒険、船便でお取り寄せして。
処方さ、ほんの初歩的な推理だよ、ワトソン君。
本に書いてあった通りです。
ありえないことを消去すれば。
If I were Ryu, I would be thinking, I'm lying here dead, woman. And yet here you are cooing at this guy.
でもさっきのべらぼうな言いがかりは何なんだ？
名推理と言いがかりは紙一重の。
I am actually kind of curious on how Ryu died. Cause like, you know, like since it's been a few centuries, like I know Ryu is not hanging somewhere old Captain America style in the current Ace Attorney timeline. So I'm just curious, like it'd be kind of interesting if he died in a famous case or something. Or like he was a victim of a famous case.
僕はね、つい先ほど電報で事件の通報を受けてここへ来たのだ。大法廷にてイタリア人国家殺害さる。
大法廷。
イタリア人。
そう、僕の完璧な読みに間違いなどありえないのさ。
I hope Herlock gets real upset about his sidekick Wilson dying.
生前の腕前を物語っている。一見かなり東洋人っぽいが。
Cause this is like a promotion for the game in Japan, but like in game, he better be angry. Cause me, those two are like one of the characters that I ever know of. Besides R2D2 and 3PO from Star Wars.
なんでも この大法廷には幽霊が出るという噂らしいよ。
I think this is probably the most. I'm surprised by the lack of people who are offended by Sherlock Holmes being this stupid in this game, as far as his deductions go, because like Robert Downey's impression of him was that he made flawed, like I'm sure he was a flawed human with how Robert Downey Jr. portrayed him, but he wasn't this off the mark.
ロンドン東京府店の売店で大はしゃぎで買ってまいりました。
And plus, Sherlock Holmes don't believe in ghosts
まさかとは思う
or
が。
superstition, from what I vaguely remember from the original
死
stories.
んでないなんて言い出すつもりじゃないだろうね。
死んでません。
I'm trying to get into reading the original books because I'm practicing for writing this horror story, not this horror story, this mystery novel.
なるほど龍之介です。
A horror story?
大日本帝国から司
Why
法
would I
を
even
学
say
ぶため
that?
この大英帝国に留学してきました。
私は御言葉すさとと申します。なるほど様をお助けする法務助手でございます。
というのは世を忍ぶ仮の姿。その正体はイタリア人のコック長という可能性はみじんもないのかな。ありません。
I think that's the wrong expression. I think he should have slapped his hand across the
見
desk.
せていただけますか。
これはこの電報明らかに矛盾している。
え？
よく見てください。大法廷ではなく
Why does I feel like there's going to be a puzzle during one of the first few deductions with this guy in the actual game that we have to solve?
そういえば裁判所の近くに大法廷というイタリア料理店があるそうです。陸軍に伝わる恐怖の大法
I don't know if Sherlock is bilingual in the original books, but how he is always looking for stimulation to his brain, from what I remember him saying at one point. Like, I think he should have picked up on learning new languages. That way he can solve crimes in any language.
大英帝国の電報なのに日本語のネタってどうなんだ。
それでは今回はこの辺で。今度はゲームでお会いしましょう。
I guess we're not gonna talk about this. I guess we're not gonna worry about the Italian chef, right?
僕だって大法廷に立って怪事件を見事料理してやります。
I do like this trio, from what I've seen in this little trailer so far. So I'm looking forward to actually playing. You know what? Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I think at the intermission period, like I remember them being the first half of the game where we beat the first Great Ace Attorney game. We're gonna watch all of these here, and then we'll get over to the second game. I am seriously. I'm gonna watch this one more time here because this little one, and then after that we're gonna get into the game. I think each of them are like 5 minutes long. For some reason, the judge here is oddly fitting. I kind of wish that this was a full game. Like Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. Never mind that. Ryu versus Phoenix Wright. Now that's where I want to see. I wish Turnabout Time Traveler in one of the later games was about this. Apparently, the Maya-looking girl in Ryu's time is not a relative of Mia, apparently. How did the judge know? Wait a second, why are you guys self-aware but you guys are not evil, like Monica from DDLC? Actually, that does sound like an actual case in and of itself. It'd be interesting if they did a crossover with Doki Doki Literature Club, but not in the way we expect, where somehow the people from Project Libertaria become suspects or something in the case.
確かに僕も同じことを考えていました。
That would sound intriguing, and maybe Monica could be a
とても
witness.
他人とは思えないというか。
それではせっかくなのでお互い
But anyway, why aren't we crazy then? Like Monica was.
弁護士のなるほど、ゆうのすけであります。
なるほど。お兄様では。何しろギザギザが多いですから。
生き別れの兄にはあいにく覚えがありません。
聞いたことがあるぞ。僕の先祖に龍之介という名前の弁護士がいるって。
じゃあおじいさんは。
I kind of wish it would kind of be funny if there were like a family business type of thing where every single line, like everyone in Phoenix's family become lawyers.
さりげなくおじいさん呼ばわりでございましたね。
なんだか妙に老け込んだ気分です。
やっぱりそういうことだったんだ。お隣のあなたは私のご先祖様なんですね。おしとやかで凛としてて、まさに理想のご先祖様。
I still want to know who her ideal. I wonder who her ancestor is then.
法務助手の御言葉すさとでございますが。
Actually, I don't even think. From what I get from my impression of her is that she isn't even a spirit medium like Maya.
なんだろう、この強烈ながっかり感。なんだか申し訳ございません。せっかくですから、この際、綾里家の先祖になってください。
So you make her like your godmom or your great grandmother.
は良いかと存じますが。
人類史上かつてない不条理なお願いをされましたね、スサトさん。
語呂はいいのにな、綾里すさと。
本日は逆転裁判15周年の1年間を振り返るものとします。
15周年。
I wonder what my ancestors would be like.
2001年初代逆転裁判が誕生。それを記念してこの1年いろいろやってきましたね。
そうそう、今年の1月にはでっかいイベントをやったり、15周年特別法廷。
Was that when you guys made the orchestra version of stuff?
15年という時の重さをみんなとかみしめたってね。
一言よろしいでしょうか。
なんですか。
時の重さをかみしめる記念であるのならば、まずなるほど様の生誕100年以上こそ祝うべきではございませんか。
I love this excuse.
やめましょう、佐藤さん。時が重すぎて床が抜け
If
ま
I
す。
was if I was an ancestor and one of my descendants would show up, I would feel incredibly old.
ありがたいや。
拝まれてしまいましたね。
気軽に明治を振り回すのは
I wish the
それに
the past judge was around here somewhere.
やったり、ついにテレビアニメにもなったりね。いやー、私たちも毎週お楽しみだったよね。
Who said that was really Ace ever?
テレビ
Cute.
アニメ？
一体何のことか一から説明してもらおうじゃありませんか。
100年の壁は分厚いみたいだな、やっぱり。
あと今年はあれもありましたね。オーケストラコンサート。
Thought that happened. Yeah, 'cause I remember hearing some of the music at one point.
私泣いちゃったもん。
待った。
オーケストラ。
コンサート？
With a K?
ああ、交響楽団の演奏会ですか。
Oh, that's cute.
先祖でもわかりますね。
Well, don't you guys? Well, I'm sure I'm pretty sure every culture has some variation of concerts or festivals.
素敵でございます。
全く読めないけど納得してくれたみ
I've
たい。
never heard the last one myself either.
何でも漢字で書いちまえって風潮。
Still never heard of
何
it.
だったんだろうね。
確かにね。シェイクスピアが「サオー」だっけ。
I might have heard of
なる
that.
ほどくんは差し詰めなるおだね。
That sounded like some type of trivia Persona 5 was dropped at one point.
こっちも老け込んだ気分になるよ。
そしてつい先日8月3日のことでしたね。大日本帝国国民待望の大逆転裁判2ついに発売。
Do you want to talk about Sherlock Holmes Phoenix and his name at all?
いやー、僕たちもしっかり遊ばせてもらいましたよ。
私だってすっかり感動しちゃったもん。
ああ、そうだね。何しろ全ての謎が今解き明かされましたからね。あれ、どうかしましたか？
Why do you do that? React that?
その一言が
You would think that this would be more of a
数
reaction.
年強烈な重圧だったもので、
ご先祖様の方にもいろいろあったのでございます。
何しろ
Okay, so I'm assuming that the ending of the first game is going to be a real massive cliffhanger.
いやはやありがたやありがたや。
Well, at least I know Ryu won't die because of the fact of
裁
him.
判長のただいまの発言は完全に矛盾しています。
なんですと？どういうことですか？
実はさっきからずっと気になっていたんですけど、ご先祖様ある種やけに滑らかに動いてますよね。
I like how the commenting
あれ
on the
そう
frame
か
rate.
な。
ほらそれです。
確かになるほどくん、机を叩くのに
Two
パ
frames.
カパカと絵が2コマしかないよ。
ちなみに意義ありはどんな感じですか？意義あり、意義あり。
You never did the little flip.
それは嘘でしょう。
とにかくこのパカパカっぷり、
The jerkiness on the
僕として
scoring.
はこっちこそが先祖であり元祖の気分です。
It could be a stylish choice for them to go for the 2-frame way afterwards. Like that's obviously not what happened, but oh well.
であり、そして元祖であると。
That technically is true, I guess.
時空がねじれるのも無理はございませんね。
I kind of still want this to be a game, like not this little cute little
そろそろ閉廷の
anniversary
時
shit,
間
but
で
like
す。
more so of I really want this to be a
それ
game
で
of Phoenix and Ryu working together.
僕たちどうやって帰ればいいのですか？21世紀に。
That would be a good game
明治の
concept.
街をブラブラして時間を潰すと
Pass
い
the
うの
time
はい
of
かがでしょ
300
う。
years.
大帝と東京は華やかですから、100年なんてあっという間ですよ。
どうやら何としてもあの一言を僕に言わせる流れみたいですね。
おお、先祖と元祖、夢の共演だね。それでは逆転裁判のさらなる発展を祈って皆様もご一緒に。せーの。
迷いちゃ止めて。
How did she put the brakes on that? I like that's the first time. Like you look closely, Phoenix has eyes in the quote anime way.
それではまたどこかでお会いいたしましょう。
Yep, I'll see you again soon in literally a few minutes. Actually, not even a few minutes, just a few seconds. I mean, that was fun. I'm sure people who watching this for the first time will be kind of confused on why would I do this, but with that in mind, continue, please. Episode 2. Once I'm done with the first game, I'm still gonna I'm still gonna keep on continuing with. I'm treat this whole package as a one game.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath.
Oh, the narrator is
In
Wilson.
time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost
You're dead,
growl-like
though.
sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point
That's
in the
not
darkness.
Sholmes.
You see it, Wilson? He yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern's shutter, and the room.
So this universe is the equivalent of Moriarty, which is
Sholmes
his.
was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which she referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible.
I love snakes, but if a snake is about to, but if a dangerous looking snake is about to attack me, it's better it than me. You know what I mean? Sure. So we're gonna hear Wilson's voice throughout this game, despite him being dead. Interesting. I guess into yeah,
so
like
then, let us unravel this mystery.
seeing a steampunk Sherlock Holmes is interesting.
Events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse
Me to you.
The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor.
Do people are dying, do they really think to do this?
Upset bottle.
Oh well.
A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time.
What's compos mentis?
Extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality.
Sherlock Holmes was a private investigator, right? But he was never technically a detective, from what I remember, right?
This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
Watch him be good, kicking your ass.
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait.
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd.
Are you gonna accuse the innocent-looking girl?
I need cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
I think that's the Hosanaga guy.
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world.
Okay, so you're detective. So you were the police then, apparently.
I presume you must have heard of me.
Well, judging by your deductions from the little extra stuff we saw, there's probably nothing there. Don't tell me I'm being accused of murder again. My head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Is Sherlock accusing me of murder? Wait. I can't move. Yes, I'm being accused of murder again. Maybe Phoenix and Maya, they both somehow branched from Ryu, apparently. Why am I in handcuffs? So you wake up now, We have to drag you out of the wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You're a true cold-blooded man. Could Sherlock not tell I got knocked out? I'm assuming you. You found me then. Duh, we found you. And now you pay. Criminal. Okay, with a K. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe? Sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Why do you do it? Why do you take his life? Miss Sosota. Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where is... Ha, you pretend you do not know. You're a wolf in the sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. What? So he's not Edgeworth's ancestor? I assumed he was. I don't remember seeing footage with Cuz later on, but what? Here, in this very cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. His body. Please, do not try to tell you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Cuz dead? But he can't be. I thought he was gonna be Miles Edgeworth's great something. And these handcuffs. Surely you don't think I have to know. Why did he take Cuz's life? Answer me, please. No. Ah, shit. Here we go again. But no, seriously though, like my homeboy got killed? My homeboy got murked. Cuz it was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Want me to get in trouble? Ha 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 ha. Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else can you come to England with me to study? It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was going to die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. Is it really that small? You must be even less of a man than you look. Hey, honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. 50 days? I thought it would just take a few days at worst to travel by sea, but... Oh, no, but then they go to China, all that, okay. But 50 days, wow, that's... I was kind of like expecting like what, like maybe at most 10 to 15, but I'm thinking 21st century here. I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant Mika Patella, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's better that only you and I know about this. Especially if I get killed and you're the one being suspected. Anyway, it's about time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. Anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I tell you what. Why don't you write keep out or something on this piece of paper? What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. We've been at sea for about 15 days. How could this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together. Maybe he was knocked out unconscious and he's bleeding a lot and he's just in internal care right now. Cuz, we leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. They put so much time to animating my boy's headband and but yeah, he's getting some media treatment right here. Murderer. No, I'm not a murderer. Stop, you said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes. This is why you should wake up, like if you're in handcuffs and someone is yelling at you, get your thoughts together first before you just start blabbering. Cause you might say something you might regret. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away all the shit, but murdering my best friend? No one else could have done this. Admit the truth. Sister Alka-san. Please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you too. Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. This is like the second case of investigations. About the incident. They're the same thing. He really been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. And these handcuffs, they think I did. They think I'm Cuz's killer. When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can be operated from outside. Maybe someone used the arm extension thing to unlock the door. Oh, but then the thing is broken. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. Wait a second. Okay, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. Yeah, the cabin will... If the culprit was inside the cabin when he killed Cuz, he could have just unlocked the door and leave because it was locked from the inside where he's at. Am I just being stupid? I'm probably talking about being stupid here, but I don't know. What? So the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Talk about some way to meet Sherlock Holmes, or do you have some other explanation? This isn't possible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances? Please, Sasuke, you have to tell me. The cause of death is still undetermined. They don't know how he died. The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course, had no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call. So presumably that means there was no obvious external sign of injury then. That's true, yes. Okay, I gotta see about both of them. Can anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Cuz? Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please, whoever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was. If I was him, I'd be like, yes, but remember, not too long ago, I was accused of murder before, right? And there was a whole bunch of damning evidence against me, including me being a bit of a dumb guy picking up a gun. But yeah, though, like, come on. Come on, baby. He will always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. Okay, like Kurt. I went outside his cabin as I have every day so far on this voyage. But this morning he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Sasaki-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder? I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. Dude, they broke down the door. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside... Wait a second, Cuz. Then what the hell did you just wrote on the ground? There was Cuz Sama collapsed on the floor. And the white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. And not that anything had happened. I might have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. It's all very hard to believe for me too. Trust me. Now I told you everything that I know, so it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. My head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. So someone knew that he was in there, and they somehow, is there like a secret passage behind him, and he got knocked out that way? But how? Something must have happened for like someone must have known he was there, and one way or another knocked him out. Alright, let's tell her about how I'm a stowaway. Why are you even on board the ship, Naru? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes. I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. I have no idea. But how can you have occupied Cuz's cabin for so long without him noticing? No. That would have been impossible, obviously. No, I have heard cases of. There was this one weird story I heard like years and years ago where someone in some lady's house or apartment, like was like a homeless or like some type of guy that was relatively harmless, I suppose, but somehow he avoided detection from her for several days. So, like I wish I could think more clearly of what I'm referring to, but it's like a foggy memory of something I just saw on the internet as I'm looking for something else. But anyway, yes, of course. Cuz invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you, but why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Cuz, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why get such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? Just in case I might die, man. It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I, that you ought to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it, I can assure you of that. But I never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, see, man, with my flying headband, like I give off a lot of Mia energy, which means that I'm gonna get killed, my boy. And sadly, I'm not a woman, so I'm not a spirit medium, so once I get murked, that's it. So, well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. And plus, boat tickets are expensive, but on the personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then what? Then what? Nothing. No. Stop. Like we're gonna say that if I were to die, I want you to be the one in charge of my investigation, or what? And apparently Sherlock was on here too. Apparently, because he was always saying the same thing, that he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yes, maybe, but something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then, it was darker than I've ever seen it before. I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My son went on this ship, I mean. If I knew cuz I'd protect me to avoid me becoming guilty by association. That's exactly word perfect, in fact. If you're not the culprit, then tell me, what happened last night here in this cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Cuz brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep. Well, yes. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Cuz was killed. Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable. Really, I do. But it's the truth. Say your head was hurt. Say that your head is hurting. If only I woke you up, then I wouldn't be in this predicament. For some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really. Something wrong? Oh, no, please forget. So, I didn't do it. I don't want to doubt you. The trouble is, there's no one else who could possibly have done this. Cause I don't understand why. Why did it have to happen? And why did that have to be the criminal again? I can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry. Because was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walk free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Cuz's life, and how and why they did. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. flipped your ass, didn't she? What the? That was a Sasota takedown. Sasota, what? What martial art form is that? Can you flip me upside down, please? Flip me back. I'm gonna need to prove it. Sorry, prove it. Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. I need, baby girl, I need to flip me back up here because like looking at you right now is not doing me any favors here because pick me up. But how am I supposed to? Have you gotten already? What you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in the court of law. Ah, I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. What do I have? I have to get Sasota to believe me. I show them evidence right now that prove I'm not guilty of this awful crime. Baby girl, I'm a student. Sorry, this is literally the only other thing I have.
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes it was. I remember clearly. I thought so, because I would put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. Yes, of course. Can you fix me up? Because it's kind of interesting watching you do this upside down, but fix me up. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before you opened them. But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own. Yeah, that's quite true. In other words, is it possible that I killed Cuz? Can you help me up? Well, even if you are sprawled helplessly on the floor, I can see why Cuz thought so highly of you. Thank you, Sasota-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? I feel for the baby girl though, because there's so many unknowns here. So I guess my boy, and plus she obviously don't know Ryu all like that, so I can't really fault her per se. When I like that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here at least. Thank you. So you finally believe me? No. I'm sorry. No. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you use some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position. What did she think I am? I was expecting you to say, what did she think I am? A spirit medium? But now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Sasota-san. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. I shall be watching you to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I won't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. Well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating in here. Examine everything I can. Cuz, I swear, I will avenge your death. Here's my question. I was just about to say, where were you? But then I forgot. Alright, okay, a man appeared. Present. Okay, well let me, perhaps I should see what this rushing treatment makes of the scene of the crime. Excuse me. What? I was wondering how it's going. The investigation, I mean. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it's not true, I see. But you apparently know how to speak Japanese, I'm assuming. Sorry? The criminal asking the investigator for information about his crime. Very funny. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke. He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty. He might have useful information though. I have to keep trying. So last night, do you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Besides me? Yeah, of course not. Now back to the corner room and make silence. I said no more to you. Did I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there, he seemed a little flustered. What is up with what? Well, assuming that he's innocent and he's not the killer, like for anyone that's not an actual killer or like a conspirator of murder, for anyone who just turned up their nose like that and just okay with letting a potentially innocent man dying, that's fucked up. And what's the matter, Sata-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly. Oh yeah, that's not good. I don't feel you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naru? Okay, I'm sure you're careful to look all around using the D-pad, aren't you? Okay, now let's forget our corner of this cabin. Yes, let's do that. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Oh, okay, that's nice and clever of explanation here. Anyways, let's look at the writing here. Sigi, Japanese word for justice. The brushstrokes are straight and true, just like Yes, his calligraph always was a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing he drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I can. I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to? Even though you stowed away on the ship? You're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win. I do appreciate them checking off the things and all that. That's because of his precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. It doesn't look like it was disturbed because it's standing upright. Like, if I got attacked, if I got killed, I would imagine my sword would just fall on the side, like, you know, like just on the ground without being perfectly up like that. Yeah, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip. I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. But I'm gonna keep that now, am I? And now he's gone, but I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. Was this my dinner from last night? That's my... Oh, yes it was. The roast chicken, it was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But, do you eat on the floor here? I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I had the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor. Which means that... So that meant that... So that means the murder happened after he ate dinner. I'm pretty sure he said that, but... Because didn't like chicken at all, did he? No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. Oh no, does that mean... Poor Cuz spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible. Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. I'm surprised that plate was not added to my. I'm surprised that plate wasn't added to my evidence. There's nothing on the table at all. The plate and color are over the floor for some reason. Obviously, mean that there was a struggle. Part of me just thinking to myself like, damn it, Cuz. You had that giant sword that you like to lean on all the time in the last episode, but yet yet you didn't use it. Last time I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still. No, wait a minute. What is it? That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Cuz. No, woman. Jeez, what do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appeared to have broken clean in two. The glass is such a beautiful color. It looked like a cute little Naseku fastener from a kimono outfit. I think I just saw the autosave icon. And I'm not sure that sounds like Cuz. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, would he? Unless he gave it to him as a gift. And the mark beside it, what is it, I wonder? Brick-like hue. Yes, you're right. It's the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. Why is not... Give me some evidence, y'all. Did the Cuz write that before he died? I was looking more at the chalk outline, but okay. He then knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. I'm sorry, but if you're dying, I feel like that's kind of a little bit too neat. Like my hand, like if I was the criminal and I saw the guy lifting up with his hand, I would just step on the hand and all that so he couldn't write anything. So if and plus, something like this happened in the first case of the second game of Ace Attorney, where Justice for All, where that rich college kid, he used the officer's dead hand and he wrote out the girl's name, but it was spelled wrong. So it could be something like that. Poor cuz. No doubt he was in terrible pain. Tell me this, honey. Why didn't he write down my name if I was the killer? Since everyone in this universe like to assume that if someone writes something at the last dying breath thing, that's always going to be the name of their killer. So why didn't he write down my name, huh? Tell me that, baby. I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. Oh, that's fucked up, man. I don't think that's Japanese, Naru. What? Then what language is it? It pained me to admit it, but I don't know. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? I think Sherlock took a picture of that, so I'm sure Sherlock will give that to me later on. Probably. It's a real life traveling case. I was trying to look at the ink thing, but okay. You have to carry a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Oh yes, I see it says this way up, in Japanese. Which in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read. I would turn over and over and over, and then I would toss on the floor in here. Oh dear, being a subway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a societal takedown. Fair point. Wait, is that a trophy? The books are falling over on the shelf. Look, they're all toppled the same way. And what's this, the statue of some god of the sea? Yeah. Perhaps, don't tell me it's a Poseidon statue. Well, it's almost as if the whole shelf had been ransacked and everything mown down at once. I wonder if perhaps it was Cuz doing his morning sword training, do you think? I seriously doubt it. Then perhaps it was you, Naru, in a fit of rage. Ah, kill my friend. Oh, I'm so angry about my murderous tendencies. Time to knock down these books. Is that what you think happened? Which I guess, sure, people could be illogical, but that's a leap, honey, even for Ace Attorney. I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. So the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder? Well, since we're zooming in, definitely, yeah. Well, I just said everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. You idiot! Oh, but there might be some books missing, maybe. What does this say? The rule of the passage for travel aboard SS Baru. One of the rules is don't murder anyone. Essentially, this is a request from the captain to all passengers on the board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Alright, well, cuz fuck that one up. But pets are also strictly forbidden. So that means that animals gonna be involved in this case. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? Damn. I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure. Out of the way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. I can't wait for you to be on my side again, baby girl, or at all, technically. This is where their cuz would have sat wherever he was writing. Cause just so you know, girl, he was my homeboy. London Diary. Poor cuz. He didn't even make it to his destination. It looks as though the last entry is incomplete. Which means, what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Oh, let's see what that... Okay. I like how the sailor in the back... Yep, this is totally normal. That's out of the question. What? Cuz may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts. You stupid bitch. Oh, but what if it's something important? Something relevant to the case? How about you take a look? Alright, I won't read it. Can you read it? I don't care if either of us read it, but I don't let people. If from the detective mindset, it doesn't really matter anymore. Cause the person's dead and all that, and like, yeah, like for one thing, like yes, I respect them and all that, but at the same time, if it helps solve the case, then we're good. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Watch like to try to burn that page down, and I'd be like, stupid bitch. Alright, so someone came in this way apparently. So I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator, a hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin. Isn't that a little odd? What do you mean? Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, it looks like it must connect to the next door cabin. Yes, it would appear to. You're right. But if it's purpose to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside. That's true. Perhaps the rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough, or something like that. I suppose, maybe that's it. You weren't there before. Who was that? He wasn't there a minute ago. Okay. He came through that little horn-like thing? As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European. Oh, how did he... That's not suspicious to you? Well, please, Sherlock, read that for me. You know the man too, have you? I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious, and tall, suspiciously tall. Naru, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is? Well, no, I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him, and he is investigating cousin of death, or is he just playing on it? I can't tell. Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him. Am I just imagining, or does Sasha look uncontrollably excited? By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case, if you press X on people when they're in the crosshairs, yes, honey, I did that before. I'm surprised you didn't say, you're the suspicious one around here, my boy. Alright, first, let me take a look. I'll check on the other stuff here first. What did I do that triggers him? Oh, okay, so I pressed on the ventilator and then Sherlock top of there. I'm just gonna call him Sherlock because I don't know why I want to call him Sherlock Holmes. I just feel like he would look like a Sherlock. A steampunk Sherlock, but still. I was telling the talk about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which is pulled to ring a bell to summon servants. Well, it sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a little try? Yes. In the interest of cultural researcher, obviously. I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people. No, I'm sure it's just that everyone is busy, that's all. I'm surprised she agreed to that. It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naru? I think living isn't quite the right word description. Oh, no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting, making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception. But because of that, you have no idea what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not. You could charge me with whatever happened to stowaways, but you can't charge me with murder. Alright, gotta give me one quick second. I had to go grab some real quick. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's talk to Sherlock and let's see what we can glean from him. Excuse me. Excuse me, do you have a moment? This is a critical point in my investigation. You think there could be fingerprints or something beneath there, or what? Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. No, he's getting up. Greetings, I hope I haven't kept you long. What exactly were you doing on Cubs' desk just now? Oh, I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? I feel like he's looking right through me. Oh yes, everything is clear now. Can you at least see? Can you see any body? Can you see like any body language stuff on me to show that I'm innocent at least? The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. I think sometimes Sherlock Holmes let criminals go if they learn a lesson or something. Because I think, like in the books, from what I remember, all Sherlock really cares about is just solving the case in and of itself. He don't really care about the consequences afterwards. Besides maybe morality. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, while venturing toward foreign climes, you find yourself in the most troubling predicament. But yet you're able to speak Japanese, I'm assuming, because they made it a point that languages are a thing in this world right now. So apparently, so despite all the shit we could give you, at least you could mostly speak Japanese. You find you're in the most troubling predicament. Oh. Well, that's true at least. But how? How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction. Hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to do anything else? But of course, a great many things. Like, for example, this guy don't know who I am, apparently. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower, and watch Susata buy into this. And when the B-ribbon occupant of the very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Just to be clear, you are talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? Probably maybe the killer, maybe? I don't even see one person who fits the bill. So it's true. It was you who did it to Cuz. Think for yourself, woman. Stop fangirling for him. What? And you're planning a revolution too. Even though I predicted this, it's still annoying. It's shameful behavior. It's shameful behavior to just have 16. Like when you say shameful, that just downplays it. I feel like, even absolutely wicked, that still sounds like you're talking lightly about a revolutionary or terrorist or whatever. But okay. No, listen. There's no way I. At least listen. Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. This is ridiculous. Well, at least now we know how Phoenix could get. Now I know how Phoenix could get hit by a car and hit his head into a pole and still be alive and just fine and just get away with a sprained ankle. How can you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously. Oh, forgive me. And as for you, what kind of detention was that? You were just saying the first thing that came to your head. Ah, but was I not right? While venturing toward foreign climes, you do find yourself in the most troubling predicament. Do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha! There you have it, you see. What do you make of that, Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So, I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy certitude, and more often than not, I'm right. Ha! I don't think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes. I want to see how well this guy get along with the other prosecutors from the original trilogy. Like, I wish he could time travel, because sometimes they do have some shows. They have like this one show where he time traveled to like the 31st century, I think it was. But I would love to see Sherlock deal with. I would love to see Sherlock deal with Francisca and Edward for the salary cuts and everything. So it's really you, the actual Sherlock Holmes. I'm sticking with that. The very same. The inimitable actual Sherlock Holmes. Do you know this man, Susato-san? The most famous detective in the world, Naru. Of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him. What planet have I been living on then? We must ask him what he's deduced. You've already heard what he deduced. He will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Really? Why am I feeling easy about this? Alright, so let's get this over with. Great detective. So, you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I see, you're German. Herlock, was it? That makes sense. No, I have no her. I mean, I have hair. Is her pronounced hair? Please call me Sholmes. I might just go with Sholmes, maybe, or I might go with Holmes. I don't know. I'll call him whatever. I call him whatever I feel is right. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication, huh? Oh yes, Rand's magazine, full of wonderful. Okay, they have extra. Some of the stuff in the extra menus are covered by them. Full of wonderful short stories and interesting articles about Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I was sent from England especially. Oh yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So you're the protagonist in a series of short stories then. Indeed I am. That is a little bit too much on the nose. And you read so many of your own stories, you started to think you really are a detective. Make no mistake, I'm not the poor, deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward. Backward? My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer? Do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Why, this very moment I'm returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really, I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form. A science. Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reaction to his subject. It'd be great if it actually works. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture, fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin. All these things are data. Right. And the trained logician makes deduction from this data in the blink of an eye. You know what? If you didn't accuse me of being a Russian assassin at the very start of this, I would probably be able to swallow this a lot better. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can you look me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a term both for observation and for deduction and fame. So you like money too now, apparently. I don't think Sherlock Holmes really care about like that, like money to, like, you know, live and pay his rent, but like I don't think money would ever I don't remember Sherlock Holmes being like Mr. Krabs, where he's just like, "Hello, I like money." That would make me the one and only. In fact, pretty sure Sherlock Holmes. You know, I feel like Sherlock is the type of guy. If you're broke and all that, I'm pretty sure he would just do the case if it seems interesting enough to him. And if you're rich, he would he would easily just turn you down if the case is boring. Cause have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything? My dear fellow, who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. When I became anxious about Cuz this morning, I summoned all the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, lucky for everyone. Oh, were you the guy I was talking to? If so, then that makes sense now. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective Sherlock Holmes was on board. And the handcuffs seem to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naru. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh really? Two facts, you say? Well, you were just investigating. Tell me that and then I'll go back to that. Before we start talking, you were examining Cuz's death, weren't you? Cuz, oh yes, the victim. Do you notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. If he tells you to read the bulk, and then you read it, then screw you. When we received the victim was engaged in penning some text. London diary. Cuz was keeping notes of the trip. But I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Watch the Santos just start simping for this man. Tragic, and something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know it's mastering of Japanese, which is how you're able to talk to us, obviously. Oh, I see. You're about to know what a Santos takedown is. No, he isn't. He's gonna be like, that probably the one thing he, even though he just saw her do it to. If he was the guy in disguise this whole time, then he know what it is, but he probably doesn't register it. So aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Naru. Well, life is so unfair. For women, for people like well, whether you're a guy or a girl, if you have this type of double standard, a part of me would be very tempted to punch you. I'm not saying I would, but ooh, sure this girl is a lot more cuter than that other woman from the other trial, but still though, I hate when people are I hate when shit like this happens, honestly. This is my little nitpick of life for me. And anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely the diary belongs to the victim. It appears the final sentence is incomplete. The author was cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray briefly provide us the details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, buonoise, Mikado, nado. I trust you to please impress. But this diary is littered with complicated-looking characters, of which I could read precisely none. So what was all that showing off about before then? If you would be so kind to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm much obliged, my dear madame. Finally, you're hearing Cosmo's diary consists of just two short sentences. The first reads, 1:25 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. These are very deep waters. Pray, go on. The second sentence reads, 1:35. Well, it looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Why would Cuz write down what looks like some sort of like before the where the dash is right now? Were there more speckled band? What on earth does that mean? That better not be interpreted as my band on my arm. I've never heard that expression before. From the ventilator grill, you say. The man was presumably referring to that is there on the wall. But no way, I got more stuff to talk to you about, Sholmes. I didn't realize. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Code diary. I wish I could read the I could read the entry myself, honestly. And what are the 2 facts? Please tell us, please. What 2 facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Oh yes, but first, let's be precise. The 2 facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand. So what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The 2 facts I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. I guess, like from a logic standpoint, like it shows that he didn't leave through the door because the door was still locked from the inside. Yes, but the guy could still escape if he wanted to, if he unlocked the door. But I think I'm trying to get around the idea that he means that like he couldn't have escaped through that door because the door was still locked. So, number 2, the victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Jim. What made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. That is the Russian word for wardrobe. I'm about to say, like, maybe it's upside down. No, but then the E would be backwards, so... Unless the Russian language has a backwards E in there, In the following moments, many find their native tongue filling their heads. For this young man, Russian. Was he? Initially, I considered Garderobe may be the name of the killer, a certain Robert Gard, perhaps. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least, where you found Mr. Narvis sleeping soundly. Quite so, I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And my memory serves, the outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. Sasata, please tell me you're not buying into that. Speaking of, why are you not in your school uniform? Because I know you're like a cute waifu that they need to market to people to buy the game, but like, and because you're like the closest thing to Maya we're gonna get, I'm sure. But come on now, where's your uniform at? They can still put you in like in the skirt like they do with the Japanese schoolgirls, but oh well. Or school uniform, yeah, they're not. And I had no idea detectives could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim in the message. That I might analyze it for possible hidden details. Okay, so we got a picture now. It kind of hurts to see Cuz knocked out like this, though. But there was no blood, though. But how was he killed, though? 'Cause like did the killer forcibly have them drink down poison? Anyway, this was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Cuz had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've ever actually seen him like this. I'm really curious to see who Edgeworth's ancestor is gonna look like. Are you alright, Mr. Naru? Oh, yes, thank you. I'm surprised you didn't give a jab at how I killed him, apparently. Word for wardrobe in purple ink. The word that have been written in the victim's final moments. I'm sorry, y'all, but like, if Herlock Sholmes here is the one doing the translation, I'm worried. Alright, can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary flame from Russia and all that? Oh yeah, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. But how do you explain my Japanese accent that I'm sure Ryo has? Will you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think? I guess I mean certainly. Certainly if it interests you. How many times? I'm not Russian and I don't speak Russian. Enlighten me. Can we talk about your deductions before the things you concluded about me, I mean? Oh, the now famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other detail that was more... Hey there, pet geek. Sorry, like Sherlock Holmes, we're talking about nationalities, and I'm thinking of races right now. But anyways, I'd say the style is fantastic. You know, I gotta agree, like, the animation is very fluid. I like this, like, even though, like, this is more of a steampunk Sherlock Holmes, I feel like this is, like, the most modern look I've ever seen of Sherlock Holmes. Which is kind of funny because I think the game came out in 2000, it came out after 2001, obviously. It came out in probably around 2015, maybe. That's my estimation. I could be totally off the mark, but at least I'm not accusing the creator of this series being a Russian revolutionary, right? Anyway, let's see here. I see what the other details I want to know. You know, the whole merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part. Oh yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Pet geek, right? Yeah. Just so you know, I'm actually I'm still a relatively new YouTuber, so bear with me being a little bit awkward here. But anyways, here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads, "Yep, that looks exactly like me. You know what? I'm sorry. Yeah, you know what, Sherlock? Yes, you're right. I'm the Russian revolutionary. Revolutionary, violent, Bolshevik, flee Russia via Shanghai." I don't know why I read it like that, but I did. The vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Cuz a Russian? It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Cuz wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to believe that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. But let's say if I was the Russian, that's right. You said that. Oh, that's right. You said that he discovered me, which is why I killed him. I'm about to say, like, wouldn't he have to be a political figure for me to want to kill him? But I guess, yeah. One who killed the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, violent Bolshevik. I've seen the review footage of us finding the actual guy, or like how we're doing like a deduction dance or whatever it's called, but I guess we'll get there. No. How can it be me? I don't look at anything. Just look at his face. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. How does any normal person just think to move like this? Even in the Ace Attorney world. But I gotta say though, I do like this animation though. Please. And I might add, your name did not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. So the revolutionary guy was just too poor to buy a ticket? The whole show, man. Yeah, so far, I'm not sure when you started watching this, Pet Geek, but basically this guy was like hanging upside down from Cuz's desk. I caught Kazuma, and a lot of people like I call them by short names like Cuz and all that because that's just how I am. But yeah, though, like this Sherlock Holmes is the most extra version of Sherlock Holmes I've ever seen. And what about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination emblem of the Crystal Tower. Well, thanks for asking a logical question for once, Susato. Oh yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all the particulars in the article. So someone interviewed this guy. Oh, I missed that. Yeah. Well, don't worry though. Like I'm pretty sure. I think Sholmes here is the type of guy who's gonna keep on. I think he's like a gift who keeps on giving. And the deeds of the man have perpetrated this thus far, and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about the revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake. I had a Russian friend actually growing up. Well, he was less of a friend and more of an acquaintance. We met a few times in this group I used to hang out with back in this area I used to hang out. And he was like he was really big. He was really big into boxing. So he was just like, "Come on, comrade, I can pound you and all that." And I'm just like me being the American I am, I'm just like, "Please, no, I'm good, sir. Sir, I'm just good." But I met a lot of interesting people growing up. Anyway, do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder? And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? All the clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik is recently returned after the period of subversive activities in the war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place. Afghanistan should be. I feel ashamed that I don't know, but Afghanistan should be below. I think Afghanistan, just from my very crude knowledge of the world, I'm pretty sure Afghanistan is slightly to the southeast of France. I think. If I'm completely wrong about that, then I'm American, so that's my excuse. Hey, here, take the paper for yourself as a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I absorbed all that interested me within its pages, but I seen the rubbish bin nearby. Thanks. Okay. You may find the article on the back page of interest as well. On the back, cast your eyes over it, sometimes the interest takes you, so you may need someone to interpret. Okay. First, let me just click on you real quick. I'm afraid I can't read a word of Russian. No, me neither. Can I please get a 2D cutout of Sherlock explain this to me? Here you go. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Just what I asked for. The peer-reviewed salary is a sorry sight. Allow me to offer some assistance. The article on the front page of the newspaper is concerned with a fearsome Russian revolutionary. It reads, "Revolutionary Valen Bolshevik, aka you, flees Russia via Shanghai." Yes, you told us that before. It reveals also that those who see the man's beard with their own eyes never live to tell the tale. Well, show him if you're still alive, so... Oh my goodness, he is fearsome. Well, presumably the newspaper photographer was alright, wasn't he? The solution is obvious, of course. If he despises his beard to that degree, he need only shave it off. I'm not quite sure that's the problem, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, so we don't get a check mark when we're examining the evidence. I'll keep that in mind. Okay, this is gonna be an important person apparently. Alright, yeah, she's the only thing to look at here. This is interesting. Have you found something relevant, Naru? Well, no. I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. Why did the filter just change on me? I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I. But look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think? She's very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoyed articles like this, do you? I was counting on her calling him out on that. I mean, I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. Ah, I'm glad you noticed this article. Why? He was just translating for us not a second ago, so Sata. Anyway, that was the contents. Oh, thank you. He pops up everywhere, this Mr. Holmes. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina. Ballerina? Yeah, that's how you spell ballerina. Of the Novich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Okay. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reportedly missing. For some reason, I thought I was saying that her name was Prima Ballerina for a second. I was like, that's the weird name pun they want to go with, but okay. Just a heads up. I am skipping a few to be here now. I'm about a quarter of the way through part 2, but when I saw you were live, I really... Oh, okay. Oh, well, yeah, sure, no problem. Like, I don't mind, man. Cause, like, me and other live streamers, we make videos going past 1 hour long, so I can't fault you for that. But hey, some people really do like this type of thing, and I like playing video games, and I like sharing experiences with people. So you know, both those. So live streaming just like it kind of like marries those two ideas for me. But hey, yeah, sure, man. But hey, watch my content how you want to. It's your time after all. I'm just a guy in the small little upper right corner here. Anyway, he is of course the talented young Nikolina Pavlovia. Nikolina Pavlovia. I don't see the pun there actually, but okay. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? I'm surprised that no one gets triggered by the racism in this. Oh well. It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from a dressing room. Wearing the diamond tiara you see picture, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. How much is 20,000 rubles? That's a good question. How much is that? But then again, you probably give me a translation in yen, if anything. I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. Sato's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Novich Ballet. Well, wait a second, Mr. Sholmes. You're so smart. So why don't you tell us how much money that's worth? Not like I really care, but still. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlovia and the valuable tiara. They requested international assistance at all ports with sailing to Great Britain. This sounds like a day 2 trial versus a day 1 trial, but okay. Like I don't I feel like this is gonna be. I feel like this particular plot point will become more relevant when day 2 comes to the trial, because in the original Ace Attorney games, you get like 3 in-game days to handle a case. So I'm assuming it's the same here. It could be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country. It does seem to be the Russian thing to do. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naru. Well, with your hypocrisy, with flipping me upside down, but not Mr. Holmes, I'm not going to dignify you with a response. How about that, baby girl? Anyway, our article about Ballerina. Oh, that's all I wanted to know. Alright. It's all written in Russian. I can't help to read it, but I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least. Oh, do you have somewhere to go? As it happens, the victim's writing in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter... That's an interesting little side glance he's doing with his eyeballs. It's kind of like they have like a preset of different animations, but then they also have like some type of separate coding for the eyeballs. Anyway, the matter warrants further investigation, I believe. If I am still too long, the sickness takes hold. I suppose you're thinking of investigating which the ventilator connects to? Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation, and I can't just whip out some coke in this, I'm assuming, T-rated game, because in the books, Sherlock Holmes does cocaine in the books, and apparently it stimulates his brain apparently, and Watson is against it in the books, but that's a whole separate subject matter. They kept his violin playing from what I've seen in the review though. And so yes, I attempt to investigate. Hence the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps that we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. What? But why? A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. Oh, these. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No. There's no point trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. What? You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. Okay, thank you. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So what, were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. That's kind of a weakish comeback internally, but I like it. Well, anyway, that was then, and this is now. Okay, so you determined after talking to me that I'm innocent, so cool. What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. What? If you're Okay. I think he's just messing with Ryu now, at this point. Oh, okay. You know, that was funny if it was just trolling. Some of these seem a bit steampunk to me, I think. Oh yeah, because this takes place because timeline-wise, this prequel takes place in Victoria, in Victorian England. And I'm guessing and apparently whenever you have a game set there, I guess that's like a steampunk era type of deal. Now he's just being plain rude. And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name. Nari, what are you just standing there for? We must go and investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no way I can... How would that break? I feel like that would break my back more so than breaking the cuffs. After Kazuma spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up. Now you're willing to believe me. I feel like that's too sudden. You're just going to roll over and accept your fate. As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. I think we still have some investigating to finish up in here first, don't we? We do? Let's carry on and any what we can to while we wait for a chance to slip next door. Good idea. The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Cuz to do everything I can to find a way out of this, and bring the real culprit to justice. Wait a second. You weren't Sherlock Holmes? Excuse me. What? I wonder if I could ask you a favor. Will you mind if I investigate a little outside? Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it's not true, I see. Sorry. The criminal asking prison guard to help him escape? Very funny. We're in the middle of the sea. There's no chance of me escaping. Yet. You stay in the cabin until next port. Then it's up to Hong Kong police to decide what they do with you. You stay. Alright. There's no point trying to appeal to this man's better nature, that's for sure. That doesn't make sense though, because I left his lifeboats. When I went for help and the crewman forced the door open, The bolt had been firmly closed. It's quite a small bolt, not particularly sturdy, and just slightly across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin. That's for sure. Besides the ventilator. There's no wonder everyone suspects me. When she glared at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel. The culprit used a needle and a thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this. Yeah, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. Otherwise, you will know who Sherlock Holmes is. This cabinet and frame were made of metal, and they filled together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. I could glare right back at you for throwing me around all like that. When she glared at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Who are you? Oh, look over there. Is that Hosonaga? I think in the anime intro of this episode, he looked like Hosonaga. The crewman Demi, he wasn't there before, was he? That's what I thought. Why don't we try talking to him? Probably because I'm likely to get yelled at again, but I suppose I could try. First, let me see here. There's nothing else of interest in here, right? Nope. Oh, I can look over here again? This is where dear Cubs would have sat whenever he was writing. London Diary. Poor Cubs. He didn't even make it to his destination, Ryu, are we not going to call her out on her hypocrisy? Not like it would really matter because you're kind of in a bad situation, but oh well. Okay. Let's see here. Anything else? Nope. Okay. Alright, so Hosonaga, that you, my boy? Is that... Yes, it is. He said, is that. Is something wrong, Naru? Oh, no. It's just that crewman standing by the door. I know him. Oh, yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. Yes? What can I do for you? Do you not recognize me? Why are you holding out your arm like that still? Well, I guess just so that we know who you are, but still. Anyway, I recognize that face, but it can't be. I am really curious to see what... Like one day we're going to see this guy pass out in front of us. I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. You didn't touch anything. I'm sorry, mate. You didn't. I didn't. Like your arms. Your sleeve didn't touch your arm, or your sleeve didn't touch your arm. Your sleeve didn't touch your mouth. Hello again. What are you doing here? And do you suspect me as well? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you. My heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board this ship. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. Is there anything I can do to help you? Please ask. I never expected to see this man on board. But perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Okay, so your special orders are to take down the actual Russian revolutionary. Is that what it is? And why are you dressed as a member, even though he just said he's going undercover? The silence here. I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as Asagi-san's bodyguard. There's several sirens coming outside my house here, just whizzing by the house. With that and this music stopping, that's actually interesting. And with Mr. Justice Jikiko, who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. He entrusted me with ensuring that Asagi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Okay, so I guess it was always a possibility. Assassinated, but how could that even be a possibility? And why did the assassin fail to kill me? Unless he just thinks he could defray me. I'm not sure, but these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it, because someone was assassinated. Obviously with a visible security escort, which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. How many characters going to cough blood? Well, so far, only this guy. Like the only other character that coughed up blood ever was this random guy in Trials and Tribulations, like Ace Attorney, like Trials and Tribulations, and like basically we were about to get him cleared of his charges, but then he started coughing up blood, and then he just died on us because he poisoned himself, I think. But yeah, this is the second time I ever saw a character with a huge fixation of coughing up blood. But anyway, they take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning till night every day. I might go for another 15 minutes, but I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin, not here on the first class deck. Right, this is what I was thinking of. Okay, yeah, in that case, then I'm assuming that you played the original trilogy before, or at least know a good bit about the characters at least. I will say though, one thing I love about these games are their characters. Like sure, the logic sometimes in the court system kind of drive me crazy, but like personality-wise, there's very few characters I don't like. Like I'm trying to think, like I can't even think of one. Anyway, I fell miserable at my assignment, and Sogi is dead. I'm a disgrace. I'm surprised that you're not accusing me. Inspector. So if there's anything at all that I could do to help now, just say the word. Permission to investigate then? Unless I need to present you something? We're doing what we can to investigate Cousin's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer? Of course not. We really have to investigate the cabin next door. Right. I have not played, but I have watched, and I sincerely agree about the characters. Oh yeah, okay, that's fair enough, because when it comes to visual novels, like, watching a playthrough is kind of like, it's debatable, I guess, with, if it counts as, like, personally I think playing through it is more engaging on my end, but watching it is just as good. Yeah. So anyway, Hasanaga, let me out, man. It's kind of like the inverse of the let me in meme. Like let me out, but apparently you can't. Apparently, why? You've been deemed the risk of the ship's safety. Can't you just follow me around and just watch me? That filming-looking seaman there will surely snap your neck in two. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm gonna need something persuasive. It's like you're gonna try to negotiate for us. If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to. Okay, so Hosonaga is gonna be our dick gumshoe of the series. But then again, we got Sherlock already, so I think this is the first game where we get two detectives working with us. Because in the other games, we only get like one detective. But I don't see how. Oh, then I get to look at me, I guess, from Trials and Tribulations, but he's not really a detective. There may be a way. What? Really? Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Narisala-san. By presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession. Evidence? It's just the same as when you're in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hudson could use. So evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin is it? The speckled band message. The speckled band message. Okay, let me present you here. Yeah. What's that? It's Cuz's diary. Just before he died, Cuz Sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote what looks like some kind of talk, John. What looks like some kind of speckled band, there we go, is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band. That is strange. Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that. But what I'd like to know is, don't tell me, the ventilator, is it? You're really astute, Inspector. Well, he does do the investigation flawlessly, he claims. That ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin. But it can't be the Russian guy, right? Because the Russian guy from the picture of the article looks so fat. I'm not trying to fat shame, but like I can't see him fitting through that. I still cannot work out I just cannot work out the motive on why he did kill Cuz, because unless Cuz was going to somehow prosecute him, but Cuz is not a prosecutor. Anyway, if we can investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? But how are we going to get past the other guy? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first class cabin area, I'm afraid I can't remove the handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asogi safe. Okay, so this is your sense of justice going on here. Thank you. Let's see the moment then, Naru-san. How did we get past the other guy? Like... Alright. I might go in for scope of this area, then I might examine this area, then I may end the part per se. Depends. Maybe this year. So it's January. Okay, so we're in the hallway here. See, I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit. Well, I have to ask though, why is there a giant mousetrap down there with a giant? Did that piece of cheese look like a nugget of gold? I have to admit, this isn't what I was expecting. There's less spacious out here than I thought it would be. This is the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed. Cuz Sama was being sent on this study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in the first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Huh. If you're his judicial assistant, why didn't you get your own room up here? Anyway, really, that must be awful. Uh-oh. Look over there. That's another crewman keeping watch. Yeah, mousetrap, right? Like that's for me for Loop there too. I doubt a mouse killed Kuzma though. And that's another crewman keeping watch, and he looks enormous, even if he's sitting down. It'd be peanut butter, really. Trust me. You know what? Yes, that's exactly what happened. Cause like my family, we use peanut butter too to capture mice back when I was younger. We don't really have much of a mouse issue nowadays, but yeah, it's funny you mentioned that though. The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I'm supposed to be making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. I suppose. Like people in handcuffs. Naru, son, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to this shit by now. We've been here at sea for 2 weeks already. And I already told you I've been stuck inside a cabinet for 2 weeks. Well, yes, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Cuz's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. Yeah, like I said, it must have been a very trying time for you. Please, don't give me that pitying look. Okay. What's a YouTuber to do? What's a YouTuber to do? Okay, here's what we're gonna do here. Alright, Pet Geek, and anyone else who's watching the feature. Thank y'all for watching this. I'll take a break. It's 8:29 now. I may or may not make another part later tonight. If I will, if I do, I mean, it'll probably. Yeah, probably around 10. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Anyone who's watching, and I hope you guys have a good, lovely night. If something happens and I can't make my next part for whatever reason, but chances are I'll probably be able to. I'll probably gonna drink some water, working on the project I'm doing on. Maybe actually working on a college assignment that I'm procrastinating on. Okay, I appreciate the game. Stay safe, my friend. Thanks, lads. Same to you. And I'll see you around. I'm always on here. Later, y'all.